Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. In today's video we are going to make this really simple and easy crochet cat bookmark. The details related to the yarn and the hook size and other things used in this video will be available in the description, so do refer the description part of this video. So let's get started. I'll be using the cotton yarn from the brand Just Cotton in brown and blue color. You can use any colors that you prefer, and I'll be using a crochet hook of 3.5 mm. We are going to start off by making a magic ring, and after that we are going to chain one. So insert your hook under the first loop and then twist and make a chain of one. Now you can take out the loop out of your fingers, and then into this magic ring we are going to make 8 single crochets. So first single crochet, second single crochet, third, so continue making single crochets until you have 8 count of single crochets made into the magic ring. So once you're done with 8 single crochets, we are going to pull the tail yarn and close the magic ring. So pull the tail yarn as tight as possible and close the magic ring. So the next round we are going to make on top of the previous round. So we will just, instead of making a slip stitch at the end, we are just going to work on top of the first stitch. So on top of your first stitch, first make 1 single crochet, and you are going to mark the single crochet so that we know that this is the starting stitch of our second round. So the pattern for the second round is to make 2 single crochets in each stitch, or you can also say like we are making an increase in each stitch. So since we are making 2 single crochets in each stitch and our previous row had 8 single crochets, so this round will have a total of 16 single crochets. So continue making 2 single crochets in each of the stitches till you reach the marked stitch. Here we are almost at the end of this round, and into the last stitch we are going to make again 2 single crochets. Now we are going to remove the marker and we are going to work on top of the first stitch. So make first 1 single crochet and place the marker back so that you know that this is the starting stitch of this round. And the pattern for this round is 1 single crochet in the first stitch and 2 single crochet on the next stitch. So this is the second stitch. So here we are going to place 2 single crochets. So we are making an increase in the second stitch. So third stitch again will be a single crochet, and fourth stitch will be again an increase. So alternating, we are going to make 1 single crochets and 2 single crochets. So repeat this till the end of this round, and by the end of this round you should have a total of 24 single crochets. So here we are at the end of this round, and into this last 2 stitches, first we are going to make 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets in the next one. Now next we are going to work on round number 4. So in the round number 4, first we make 1 single crochet and then we mark it. So we are going to work only halfway through round number 4 using the pattern that I'm about to say, and then we're going to make the tail. So into the next stitch again make 1 more single crochet, and into the third stitch we are going to make an increase. So here the pattern will be one single crochet in the first stitch, one single crochet in the next stitch, and two single crochet or an increase on the third stitch. So you'll be repeating this till the end of this round. But what we are doing here is we are doing first the first half of this round. So we will be doing only 16 single crochets, and after 16 single crochets we will be making the tail of the cat. So count a total of 16 single crochets while you follow the pattern of one single crochet in first, one single crochet in the next, and two single crochet on the third. So count a total of 16, and once you're done with 16 single crochets you will start off chaining to make the tail. So here I'm going to chain 35, but you can make the chain as long as you want based on your requirements. So if you are using it for a book which is having a short length, you can make a shorter chain or a longer chain. So once you're done with 35 chain, we are going to slip stitch on top of each, and we're going to reach back to our circle. So just make a slip stitch into each of the chains. So insert your hook into the chain, pull a loop and pull through the stitch itself. So continue this till you reach the bottom part of the circle. So here we are almost at the base of the circle. We have like one more stitch left, so we are going to make a slip stitch into this stitch as well. And since we ended with two single crochets in a previous stitch, so into the next stitch we are just going to make one single crochet, then one more single crochet into the next, and two single crochets into the next stitch. So we will repeat this pattern again. So on the other side as well we should have a total of 16 single crochets till we reach the marked stitch. So continue this pattern, and once you reach the marked stitch, so here we are almost at the marked stitch, so we're going to end with two single crochets, and I'm going to remove the marker here, and into the first stitch we are going to make a slip stitch, and we're going to chain one, pull the yarn tight and trim off the tail yarn. So here the body along with the tail of the cat is ready. Now we are going to work on the head of the cat. So for the head of the cat also we are going to make a magic ring and chain one. And here like in the body we had made 8 single crochets, here we are going to make 6 single crochets. So make 6 single crochets into the magic ring. Once you are done, pull the tail yarn tightly and close the magic ring. Then we are going to work on top of the previous round. So instead of slip stitch we are just going to make a single crochet on top of our first stitch. So since we will need to identify the first stitch, we are going to place our marker here as well. And similar to what we did for the body, here too we are going to make 2 single crochets in each stitch for our second round. So make 2 single crochets on each of the stitches. Since we started off with 6, so we will for the second round we will end up with 12 single crochets. Now we are at the last stitch. We are going to make 2 more single crochets. And remove the stitch marker, and we are going to make 1 single crochet, put the stitch marker back, and we are going to follow the pattern of 1 single crochet in one stitch and 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and we will be repeating this till we reach the last stitch of this round. So make 1 single crochet in one stitch and 2 single crochets in the next stitch till we reach the end of the round. Third round here is completed, and now we're going to make the ears. So make a double crochet on top of the first stitch. Next, make a chain of 3 and then slip stitch back into the same stitch. So this is our first ear of the cat, and into the next 2 stitches we are just going to make 1 single crochet in each. So into the first stitch make 1 single crochet, into the next stitch make 1 single crochet, and now into the next stitch we are going to make the second ear. So again make 1 double crochet and then make a chain of 3, and after that we are going to slip stitch back into the same stitch. So our head of the cat is almost done, but we want to have our yarn at the base of the head, so we will be making slip stitches over the next 6 stitches, so that we have our tail yarn at the base of the head, using which we are going to stitch the head to the body of the cat. So make slip stitches over the next 6 stitches, and then chain 1 and pull the yarn tight and leave a long tail yarn and then trim it off. So as you can see, we have the tail yarn at the base of the head, which will be used to stitch it to the body of the cat. Now we have these tail yarns at the center part at the back of the head. So we are just going to either use a needle or a smaller crochet hook and stitch them into existing stitches and then trim them off. Similarly for the body also, the tail yarn at the middle of the circle, we are going to either use a needle or a smaller crochet hook and stitch them into the existing stitches and trim them off. So now we are left with only these 2 tail yarn, which are at the base of the head and one on the body. So using the long tail yarn of the head, we are just going to stitch through around 3 stitches of the body and 3 stitches of the head, and using the needle we are just going to go through the stitches a few times, and once you feel that the neck and the body is secure, we are going to tie the 2 tail yarns together, and we can use a needle to stitch in the tail yarn into existing stitches a few times, and after that we will be trimming it off. So just pass through a few stitches and then trim it off. Similarly do for the other tail yarn also, and trim it off. So here our cat is ready. we're just going to add some ribbon in the neck and a bow to the tail. So here I'm going to make a chain of 10 for the neck ribbon, and you can make the chain according to your requirement based on what is the proper fit for the neck. So you can make a chain and then try it around the neck of the cat. So as you can see here, we are going to try this chain around the neck of the cat, and if it meets exactly at the right point, then we are good to go. And we are going to now slip stitch the last chain with the first chain. So insert your hook into the first chain and just make a slip stitch, and after making the slip stitch you can chain one, pull it tight to make a knot, and then trim off the yarn. Now the two tail yarns that you have here, you can place one more knot for extra security, and the ends you can crochet it into the chain itself. You can also place a small dab of glue over the knots if you are worried that they will come off later on. So you can always do that with ends. You can place a small dab of glue, or normal glue or fabric glue, over the knots to make them more secure. So here we have the ribbon around the neck, and now we are going to make a bow. So for that we are going to make a magic ring, and then we are going to chain 4. So here I have chained one and taken the magic ring off my fingers, and then I'm going to chain 3 more, and then I'm going to make 3 treble crochet into the magic ring. So for a treble crochet you'll be yarning over twice and then pulling through the loops 3 times, that is 3 set of loops. So yarn over twice, and under the magic ring pull a loop and pull through 2 loops each time and pull through 3 set of loops. So yarn over twice, pull under the ring, pull once, pull for the second time, and pull for the third time. So we have 3 treble crochet here. Now we're going to chain 4 again, and then we are going to slip stitch to the magic ring itself. So go back to the magic ring, and under it we are going to pull a loop and make a slip stitch. Now this is the half part of the bow. Now we're going to make the other half of the bow. So we're going to repeat this again. So we're going to make first a chain of 4, and then we are going to make 3 more treble crochets into the magic ring. So this is the 3rd treble crochet, and then we are going to chain 4 again and slip stitch into the magic ring. So slip stitch back into the ring, and we can now chain 1, pull the yarn tight to make a knot, and trim it off. So now you can close the magic ring by pulling the other tail yarn, and now you have 2 tail yarns. So wrap both the tail yarns around the center part of the bow and then place a knot at the back side. So here our bow is ready. So you can use this tail yarn to stitch it to the cat's tail like it is shown in the video. So use the tail yarn and a needle and stitch it over the stitches of the tail of the cat. So just enter it through the bow one time and through a stitch of the tail the next time, and you doing this you can stitch it over the tail. There is no right or wrong way of doing this. You just need to make sure that the bow is attached to the tail. You can in fact use fabric glue and just stick the bow over the tail itself. So at the end I'm just placing some knots and trimming them off. I'm also planning to place a dab of glue here so that the knots do not unravel or come off. So here your cute looking cat bookmark is ready, and you can change the colors based on your liking. I really do hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon for notifications on new videos, and give a thumbs up to this video if you found this useful. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day, guys.